Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. So today we continue to discuss about the light of Buddha. And last time we discussed how the Buddha allowed Sunita, who was the nice soil carrier uh, and belonged to the low class into the monastic communities. That means he allowed this man to become a monk. And the king of Kosala, Pasenadi, was so surprised. And that's why he went to ask Buddha, why did the Buddha allow those low class people to become monks? But when he met this young monk who has wholesome deportment as well as the wisdom through his practice, so eventually he gained the faith to the Buddhist monks, and later on the Buddha explained to him that everyone can become a monk regardless of their race, nationalities, and caste. That's what we discussed last time. And today I'd like to discuss further during the third rainy season as Savatis of Kosala kingdom. The Buddha taught in that kingdom. And so one day there was a Brahmin who came to see the Buddha and slain the Buddha. And the reason why he slandered because so many Brahmins went to see Buddha and became monks. And so these Brahmins is so angry. That's why he went there to scold the Buddha. So at that time, the Buddha politely invite him to sit down and ask him that let's say if you invite your friends or relatives into your house to have the feast or the dinner, and what happened when you put out all the foods and drink for them to consume, but they don't eat anything, they don't consume anything. So what you are going to do with those foods and drinks? So this Brahmin replied to Buddha that, well, if that's the case, I have to keep all the foods and drinks. So the Buddha said, so do I. You came here to slander me, to scold me, but I don't take it. I'm not angry because of your scolding. The karma will be back to you, will be fall on you. So at that time, the Brahmins realized and walk away. That's one story. Another story is that one day when the Buddha walked around the Savatis, capitals of Kosala. So I think I need to show you the map so that you can recognize what I'm talking about. Okay, just give me for a second. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, let me share with you the screen. So here was the place where the Buddha spent his third reigning year retreat around this area. And after that, he went around this area to give a teaching. This Kosala kingdom of the king as in Nadi and Savatthi was the capitals of the kingdom. And now remember all this small kingdom now became India. So this is the whole region, known part of India here. So anyway, so one day, while the Buddha was walking on the street of this capital, Savatthi, and somehow he walked to a house, and there was a dog that came out and barked at the Buddha, and somehow the young owner followed that sound and went out after the dogs. And of course, he saw the Buddhas, and at that time the Buddha said, well, you need to take care of this dog, and you should know that this dog's former lives with your fathers. And if you don't trust me, just go back to your house, just check underneath up where the dog used to sleep. You can dig down there. There's some bottles of rolls that your dad buried down there before he passed away. So at first, the young man didn't believe in that story, and so somehow, with the doubt, he went inside and asked his people to dig out the spot that the dog used to sleep there. So somehow he could find several bottles of gold, and that was one of the story. And this story, of course, for people in the West, it's not easy to understand, but people in the East that recognize the principle of cause and effect as well as the reincarnations. So it's easy for them to accept. So the concept here is that when someone still alive, even like us, we have all kind of attachments. We may attach to our family members, we may attach to our wealth, we may attach to our career, whichever we attach to. So that's why when we move someplace else, when we go someplace else, we still have some sort of mission, those things that we attach to. So do the disease people, when they pass away, definitely they would miss their family members, their wealth, and so forth. So in this case, the Buddha told the young man, the dogs was the former fathers. So definitely in Buddhist view, people can be reborn as human again after they die. They can be born in heaven, or even they may be born as animal and so forth. So in this case, because the fathers were so attached to the wealth, especially the bottles that he keep his gold before he passed away, he breathed out those treasures. So after he passed away in Buddhist view, somehow he tries only way is to be reborn again at the house so that he could protect his wealth. So this occurred that somehow he ended up to become a dog. So for the people in the East, like especially the Buddhist people, it's easy to recognize. Of course, it's still hard to grasp, understand for the people in the West. So again, I'd like to share this story with you. So move on. So during that times, this story that relates to a Buddha half brothers. So his name was Ananda. He shared the same fathers as Buddha, the King Suddhodana, but his mother is Mahapajapati, the aunt of the Buddha. So when the Buddha mothers passed away, Maya, so this aunt took care of the Buddha until he was 17 when he got married. So after his enlightenment, the Buddha went back to visit his kingdom, Shakyan kingdom, again with the request of his fathers. So on the third day of his return, after consuming the meal, the Buddha went to visit his half brother Nanda, and at that time somehow out of respect, Nanda followed the Buddha, especially the Buddha hand his bow to Nanda. So thinking that Buddha would take his bow back, Nanda followed the Buddha until he reached the park, Nigora, where the Buddha was staying. So the Buddha has intention to teach his young half brothers. So when they arrive at the park, the Buddha asked Nanda whether he would like to become a monk or not. So somehow Nanda, he just got married with a beautiful ladies at the court, but somehow without respect for the Buddhas. So Nanda, he agreed and took the donation to join the communities of monks. However, he did not enjoy any spiritual practice at all, because he's always thought about his newly wed wife. So when he was in meditation, whenever he did something, he still remember about his former wife. So knowing that, the Buddha wanted to teach him a lesson to guide him. So according to the legend, it said that the Buddha used his psychic power to take Nanda on a journey to that was Timsa heaven. So on the way, Nanda saw a female monkey that had lost her ears, nose, and tail in a fire. So when they reached the heaven, Nanda saw so many celestial females flying around. So the Buddha asked Nanda, who do you think are more beautiful, uh, uh, your former wives or those celestial females? So the Buddha, so Nanda replied that, well, um, my former wives, if I compare with these female celestials, uh, she looked like a female monkey that I just saw on the road. So the Buddha say that, well, you know, if you practice decently, I promise that you will join the communities with these female celestials beings. So hearing that, Nanda is so delightful. And of course, after the Buddha took him back to the monastery, he practiced decently with the intention that after he passed away, he would join with those celestial female beings. But later on, other monks knew Nanda wishes, and somehow they uh, uh, joked at him and made him so embarrassed. And from that time on, he let go of the thought of thinking about his former wives as well as those female celestial beings. And there was a poems in the Theravada's collection that mentioned about Nanda praising the Buddha of helping him to attain arahantship, to become holy monks. So he said that because of the Buddha uh, intention and wise guidance, that's why he could attain arahantship and nirvana. So another record is said that after he attained nirvana or become arhat, he came to see the Buddhas and told him that please uh, release your promise that after I pass away, I would join with those female celestial beings because I attend Nirvana already. So anyway, so this is the story of the Buddha half brother. Let me share with you a short mm, uh, video clips or a cartoon anyway that show how the Buddha took Nanda to one of the celestial realm to teach him uh, how to do the practice, focus on his spiritual path.
Since you were first ordained, you have not been intent on the practice of Dharma or the living of the holy life. All your thoughts are of returning to the household life.
My heart is constantly yearning for my wife, Janapada Kalyani. There's not a moment spent when I don't think of her.
Nanda, come with me, and I'll show you things that you've never seen before. Nanda, those are Apasara goddesses in heaven. What do you think about them?
Every one of those Apsara goddesses is beautiful in face and form. I can think of nothing to compare them with. Even my wife, Janapada Kalyani, has not half their beauty.
Nanda, can you see that what you thought before to be exceedingly beautiful now pales in comparison to greater beauty?
Yes, Lord Buddha, I can see. From this point on, I'll make up my mind to practice the Dharma. I'll live the holy life without letting my heart be obsessed with Janapada Kalyani ever again. I've now seen for myself that there are countless goddesses in heaven, many times more beautiful than her.
Anyway, so again, so this short cartoon clip demonstrate how he recognized that the change, and that's why he focuses mind on the spiritual path in the 10 arahantship. So let me share with you some relief that recall the scenes when Nanda hold the Buddha and follow him to the monastery. So this is relief from this is here from British Museum, and this is the another relief as Nanda before conversion in the cave 17 of Ajanta cave. This is the scenes here. That demonstrates how much attachment to his wives before he became a monk. So that is a story about the Buddha half brothers, how he used Muslim to teach his half brother and help him to attain the arahantship. So that is related to the story with his half brothers. So relate to the Buddha life during the time that the Buddha was at the Vendu Vana. So this is the problems of the people, the pandemics. Let me share with you the screen one more time about the place, the map. Okay. So Vesali is here. So when the Buddha was living the era, so people in Vesali city got a problem with the pandemics. And for us, without COVID-19 pandemics, we would not understand what pandemic means. So during those times it happened, and so many people die and sick because of this pandemic. So they went to seek the Buddha help to contain this kind of pandemics. So the Buddha accept their request and went there. And so he talked to his close disciple Ananda, what we call the Ratana Sutra, or the Jewel Discourse about how to contain this pandemic. Let me share with you this Ratana Sutra, the Jewel Discourse. So again, it's mentioned about the city of Vesali was afflicted by a famine, cursed death, especially for the poor people. So this many decay corpse lying around the city. So that's why they request the Buddha came to that city, and with the arrival of the Buddhas, somehow there was the torrential rains, which swept away all of the corpse. So the atmosphere became purified, the city was clean. So at that time, the Buddha spoke the sutra, Ratana Sutra, the Jewel Discourse, to Vembo Ananda, and he gave the instruction for him to walk around the city with the Lichavi people while reciting this discourse as a mark of protection for them. And Vembo Ananda and other monks followed the Buddha's teaching, and he went around to recite that discourse as well as sprinkle the sanctified waters from the Buddha on arm bowls, and because of that, the pandemic was subside or contained. So at that time, Venerable Ananda returned with the people from Vesali to the pit hole where the Buddhas and his disciple had assembled. So at that time, the Buddha again recite one more times this Jewel Discourse. So he said that in this discourse, the Buddha mentioned whichever beings, the same here, whether they are visible and invisible, terrestrial or celestial, may all have a peace of mind. May they listen attentively to those words. So again, the Buddha, before expound this teaching, again he made that special wishes that whoever attend here, may all of them have peace of mind. And please listen attentively. So here the Buddha explained further. May all of you radiate loving kindness to those human beings by day and night, bring offerings to you, offer merit to you, wherefore protect them with diligence. So again, the Buddha prayed that celestial beings could protect human beings day and night due to their loving kindness. And the Buddha mentioned further that regardless of the precious jewels in the world and beyond, whether in the heavenly world or the human world, and there's no thing that be compared to the Tathagata, that's means the perfect one. That is the precious jewel. Um, so by this asseveration of the truth, may they be happiness. So the Buddha mentioned one more times that the Buddha truth is the thing that incomparable to anything true, any jewels that exist in human realm or in celestial realm due to his wisdom and compassion. And the reason why he said that because he have attained enlightenment. The next one, the Buddha is mentioned that because he had detached to all attachment, he has attained to the deathlessness or nirvana. He remained calm and awakened. So that's why um, he's considered as the precious jewel. And whichever thing he taught, what they call the Dharma, that is not a precious jewel. And by this truth, may they be happy. Yeah. So again, the next one is the jewel of the Dharma. That's been the Buddha teaching. And the next one, the Buddha said that there's nothing to compare with this kind of teaching that the Buddha have taught, especially the Four Noble Truths and the Four Paths. That is considered as a precious jewel. And if that's the case, may all be happy. And the Buddha mentioned that those disciples of the Buddha who practice the virtual way and who belong to the Sangha of the Buddhist monastic communities that belong to the third precious jewel. So may they be happy if it's true. So these are the three jewels, the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. There's the Buddhists need to rely upon or take refuge when they make the vows to become a Buddhist officially. And that's why the Buddha explained further that for those monastic members, because they apply the Buddha teaching in their practice, that's why they could be free from all kinds of defilements. They have attained arhatship, and they is no longer bound into the birth cycle because they enjoy the peace of nirvana or the everlasting peace, and that is the precious jewel, and that's what we call sangha. And if it's true, may they be happy. So he mentioned again the triple jewels, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha are the precious jewels that the Buddhist people need to recognize. And he explained further that for people everywhere, if they comprehend the wonderful truths, whoever comprehend and practice the Four Noble Truths and attain Nibbana, and that is the precious jewel that people need to recognize. And That's why he repeat again, those who realize the Four Noble Truths, that's what taught by the Buddha, they would not be reborn in the samsara or the birth cycle anymore. So that's what we call the precious jewel. That's mean the sangha. And he mentioned further that for those who have the insight, who have let go of self, illusion, attachment, doubt, indulgence in the meaningless ritual. So those have be free from the first state of disaster, and they would not commit any kind of wrongdoing. So that's why they consider as a precious jewel. Has been the Sangha, the holy Buddhist communities. And may that, if it's true, may they be happy. And so for the holy Buddhist communities, they would not conceal any mistake, any wrongdoing, because for those who have attained arhatship or have seen the path of nirvana, they would not commit any crimes or evil anymore. So that's why they are considered as the precious jewel, the Sangha, the holy Buddhist communities. And for those who understand the everlasting peace of nirvana, that is was spoken by the Buddha, and the precious jewel of the Dharma, as well as the virtue of the Buddha. That's what he mentioned about. And if it's true, may they will be happy. And again, he repeats the Buddha, the know of Nirvana, the giver, the one that provided teaching to attain Nirvana, and the bringer of noble path, that's his Dharma. That's why the precious jewel is the Buddha. And again, he mentioned that of the holy monastic members, or the holy Buddhist monk, they would not create any new karma at all. They would not attach to anything. That's why they are free from all kind of existence. That's why they are considered as the precious jewel. That's mean the Buddhist holy monks. So that's why he mentioned that they need to recognize those three precious jewels: precious jewel of the Buddha, precious jewel of the Dhamma, and precious jewel of the Sangha. So he said, whichever beings, non-human beings or human beings, come and salute the Buddha, the one that honored by God and men, may they be happy. And again, whoever assemble here, please come to salute the perfect Dharma that lead to Nirvana. That's honored by God and men. May they be happy. And again, whoever assemble here, let's come to salute the perfect Sangha, the Buddhist holy monks, that's honored by God and men, and may they be happy too. So again, by reciting this Ratana Sutra or this course, the Buddha could have the people in Visali to contain this pandemic. And of course, for common people, we could not understand how the Buddha's his teaching and his holy communities could help them to contain this kind of pandemics. Again, like all the traditions, um, if something happened in our communities, we will offer the prayer. So in Buddhism, this kind of prayer is so important too. But on the top of that, whoever think about the virtue of the Buddha, his teaching, and his holy followers could follow those holy life, and that's why it could help to subdue or contain any kind of natural disaster, sickness, and so forth. So that's what this sutra is about. And let's move on. So in the fifth rainy season, the Buddha spent his time in Vesali area. We know that he helped people in that area to contain pandemics. And the Lichavi princess of Vesali have transformed the great forest into the monastery, and they have built a two-story lecture hall with a roof, as well as many small buildings that were scattered around the forest, so that the Buddha and his monastic followers could decide and practice there. And there's many monks throughout the Mandala. Let me share with you one more times the location so that you can follow what I'm talking about here. So after he spent time in Vesali to help people to contain the epidemics, so he went back to Magadha kingdom here to teach his lay and monastic people. Okay, so so when the Buddha stay around that area, and somehow again you need to understand that the Buddha walk along that areas to teach them. And this one occasion, one incident that happened while the Buddha was there. Let me show you one more times. So here, Vesali, so the Buddha went back and forth between Vesali and Magadha, and sometimes he went up here too, to the second kingdom, and people around this area. So there's one incident that happened while the Buddhas were around that area. And there was a conflict between the second people and the Koliya. So it said that somehow they have the conflict each other due to the dispute of the water. Okay, so since time is up, let me stop here today so that we'll be on time. And next time I will tell you about this kind of conflict and how the Buddha helped them to resolve the conflict. Okay, thank you. See you soon.